Hey everyone, I'm Demis Hellen and welcome back to the Modulator series here on the Cubase channel, where we look at all of the new modulators included in Cubase 15. This is the final episode, episode number 6, where we're going to look at the Crossfader modulator. The Crossfader I've saved till last because it's a plugin that doesn't do anything itself. It doesn't apply any modulation itself apart from using the two inputs that it can have from other modulators. So you can now make sort of a custom morph LFO, I suppose, but you can use all of the different modulators, so it makes it more powerful than the morph LFO. So that's what the Crossfader looks like. Let's just have a quick look at the UI. You can see here that we've got input 1, input 2, and then we've got the Crossfader here. And you can see this doesn't do anything, very similar to the sample and hold until we start modulating something, which is the Crossfader. So you can see from input 1 to input 2, and then we have input 1, and then we have input 2. Now you can see it's not doing anything, and that's because we've got the fade set to the left, which is biasing input 1. So if we move it to 100% to the right, now you can see input 2 works. And I'm actually going to delete this one to start with. So we're working on this keys patch here. And we're going to add a little bit of movement using EQ and a bit of reverb mix and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it nice and simple, but at the same time, I'm going to show you how powerful this is. So what we're going to do is use a wavefold LFO, and then I'm going to have my Crossfader, and then let's have a step modulator, just picking this at random. And just to make sure that you can see everything, I'm going to pop this out here just so you can see everything that is happening with this. So there we are, that is all of the modulators. If we click learn input 1, and then you can see I've turned input 2 down to 0, so we can then modulate this with the step modulator the same direction. So you can see now that these are operating how they should be, but you need to set the step modulator up, so we're just going to have something like that. Now you can see if we fade between the two, we get the two different modulators, nice and simple. The first thing that I'm going to do is set both of the polarities to unipolar, and I'm going to set them both to 100%. So we're just operating the whole input range, and then you can see exactly what's happening. So with that, we've currently got all of the wavefold LFO feeding into this. Let's just slow this down to 1 bar. And if we start merging in the step modulator, you can see now we can get some quite unique shapes out of this and merge the two together. So very similar to the morph LFO, but we can have anything on either side. So we're not limited to just LFOs. We can have all different manners of modulators that are available. And then this is where we connect, just like the sample and hold, to the destination. So I'm going to jump over to frequency here. And you can see we've just got a standard low cut happening here. What I'm going to do is connect, so learn and connect it to the frequency. Now you can see it's quite erratic in how this is operating. So let's go back to the wave folder first. And I'm going to set this, I'm just double clicking, and I'm going to set this to say 9%. So it's really gentle on how it is doing this. And then let's have a listen to the step modulator. And to be honest, that gives it a really nice effect. It's something that I wouldn't otherwise do in my sound design, so it's given me some ideas of how we can do this, and I'm pretty happy with the speed that's operating at. So I'm going to set this to somewhere in the middle. So we're getting a little bit of that step modulator sort of wobble, and then the movement of the wave folder just working a little bit slower. And that sounds quite nice. I do like how that has turned out, but you can obviously use anything, and we'll switch a couple of these modulators out and I'll show you how they sound with different items. So I haven't done this in the track, so this could stay. And I'm going to click learn and add this to Roomworks now. And I'm going to set to unipolar. And I'm going to make this really, really gentle. So can you see when we set these inputs to 100%, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to set this to 50% so it's got less strength. So that's before. That works quite nice. So you can see how quickly we can set that up and get movement in that pad, or in them keys, should we say, and just give it a little bit of flavour and character. So like I said, we'll switch some of these out. Let's keep the wave folder. Let's ditch the step modulator, so we can just right click there and remove and say, yes, we are okay to remove. And I'm going to pick on here, let's say the attack decay. I'm going to set the skew. So we've got pyramids, and I'm going to set it to 1/2 bar, like that. And we can tighten the curve like we know, or we can make it much more rounded. So let's make it more rounded like that. And then learn, click on input 2, set it to unipolar, and we'll set it to, say, 60%. Let's go 100. So that's got a nice sort of standard linear movement to it. So let's mix it in with the wave folder now and just make this a little bit more of a mishmash of the two. So I'm going to mix this wave folder in a little less now, so it's just a little less intense. So I'm going to reduce the modulation depth. And increase the mix from the attack decay here on the crossfader. Let's put it over here. So with a few adjustments to the bell pad, you could see there from the previous episodes, it was a bit too loud. Those keys sit really nicely. And the fact that we can use the crossfader and have two modulators mixed together and create a nice subtle environment, or we can make it as obvious as we want really, but I've created it nice and subtle. It makes those keys sound much more natural and like it should do that in the track. And it just makes a otherwise static sound not boring anymore. So that's the crossfader, very powerful stuff. You can obviously connect it to more parameters, like I keep saying in all of these episodes. You don't have to just use the ones I've done. I've just used EQ and Roomworks because they are very obvious things to hear and see being modulated. And that is the crossfader. You can see, even though it doesn't do anything itself, the two modulators on either side become very powerful when blended together. So unlike the Morph LFO where we just got two LFOs, we can pick any modulator of our choice on either side. So it really opens up how we can merge the different effects. And it gives you some results, like I said, with the step modulator, it gives some different results that I wouldn't otherwise think of doing in the track. So you can have some very happy results from those. And that, folks, brings the modulator series to a close. If you have any questions, ask away in the comments. I will be around to answer when these videos go live. But with that said, I'm Demis Hellen, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another series. Take care.